In this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to install window louvers on your Mustang. What you should get with these are, of course, the louvers themselves, a roll of 3M adhesive that we're not actually going to use, and this box here, which should include 12 mounting brackets, 24 rubber spacers, 12 nuts and washers, and 12 double-sided 3M adhesives. A lot of the things that you'll need come with the louvers, but I would recommend getting a few other things too. For instance, some alcohol wipes, 5 or more adhesion promoters, and some 3M silicone sealant. I'll leave links in the description to everything that you'll need. Step number 1 is to get your windshield as clean as possible. You're going to want to wipe it off with some kind of microfiber cloth and some kind of spray stuff. You want to make sure that there aren't any dust particles or pollen or anything on that back windshield at all that could get in the way of the adhesive sticking to it. Once you've wiped off your entire windshield, take an alcohol wipe like this one and just start going around all of the edges right here and wiping all those off. This is where the adhesive is going to be sticking to, so you want to make sure this area here is especially clean. Now you don't know exactly where it's going to all be sitting down, so a good rule of thumb is to go around and just wipe off all the black areas around the edge of the windshield. I would use 2 wipes for this process. One to wipe off one side and one to wipe off the other side. You want to make sure that you've gotten all these edges as clean as you can get them. Now grab your mounting brackets and your 3M adhesive. You're going to need to stick the 3M adhesive to the back of the mounting brackets like this. You'll also want to use some of your adhesion promoter for this step. Go ahead and open up one of your 3M adhesion promoters, like so. We're going to be using this on the backs of these 3M adhesives. By rubbing them on the back here, it makes them just a little bit stickier and more likely to stay on better. Then, stick the 3M adhesion to the back of the mounting brackets, like so. Once you've done this for all of the mounting brackets, you can go ahead and move on to the next step. You'll probably need to use 2 adhesion promoters to do all of these. Once they're all done, they should look like this. Now you're going to need the nuts and the washers to put the mounting brackets on the louvers. Grab your mounting brackets here and 2 of these rubber spacers. Take the rubber spacers off of the packaging and put them onto this side of the bracket here. Once you've got them on, just like this, take the mounting bracket and put it through one of the pre-drilled holes on the louver, like so. Now, grab your nuts and washers, put the washer on first, and then put the nut on over it. Here's another angle for you to see where it needs to go. Put the mounting bracket right through the pre-drilled hole, put the washer on, and then put the nut on. Tighten the nut on with your hands just tight enough to where the bracket's not going to be moving too much, but not so tight to where you risk cracking the plastic. Do this with all 12 of the mounting brackets. Once you've put all 12 of these on, it should look a little something like this. Notice how there's a little bit of 3M adhesive right in the middle on the bottom there. That is actually not attached to any of the brackets, so we're not going to be using that. If we did, we wouldn't be able to take the louvers off. Now, you're going to need to use the rest of the adhesive promoter. Take it out of the packaging like this, and then we're going to take off the backing on all of these 3M adhesives here. This can be a little bit of a challenge, but once you get it off, like this, You'll need to rub the 3M adhesion promoter on it, just like this, to make it extra sticky. Once you've done this for all of the mounting brackets, have someone help you out with the next part. Take the louvers and very carefully line them up on the windshield. Start with the top and then work your way down from there. Once you set this on there, it's not going anywhere. Carefully starting with the top, start to press it down. Once it's actually on the windshield, go ahead all the way around the louvers and just press them down, just like this. This ensures that all of the mounting brackets are held on nice and strong and aren't going to move anywhere during this next step. Now that you've got the louvers on, the next thing you have to do is take them back off. Start by taking off all of the nuts and the washers. Put them off to the side somewhere where you know they're going to be safe. You're going to need these again later when you put the louvers back on. Once you've done this, have a friend help you take the louvers off again. Carefully pry them off so as not to mess anything up or move any brackets around. And then just set them off to the side somewhere where they'll be safe. Now that you have the louvers off, all of the mounting brackets should still be stuck on in place. Go around and put some pressure on all of them and make sure that they all stick on really well. You do not want any of these going anywhere. Now grab your 3M silicone sealant. Cut off the end of the plastic piece like this, so there's a very small hole, just like that one. Then take the cap off your silicone sealant and puncture it open with a nail or something else. Once you're done with the nail, go ahead and set it aside. Pick up your plastic nozzle and screw it on to the silicone sealant. You're then going to take the silicone sealant and put it all the way around the edges of the mounting brackets. This doesn't come with a kit because it's not technically necessary, but this waterproofs the mounting brackets and makes it so that they're not going to come off if they get wet. If you do not use the silicone sealant, there's a good chance that if you go through a car wash or even drive your car out in the rain with these louvers on them, that they will fall off. If not right away, after a few times they might. Putting the silicone sealant on it like this totally waterproofs it and keeps your window louvers safe. The more expensive window louvers come with the silicone sealant like this for that exact reason. But it doesn't cost you much just to order some of this on your own. I would highly recommend ordering some before installing them. After you've done this, if you would like to, you can get rid of any smudges from the silicone sealant. Just be careful not to touch any that's on the mounting brackets. Some might look nice and neat, others might look a little more messy. But the important part is to make sure that you don't leave any gaps for water to get in. Now for the hard part, waiting. You'll need to wait 24 hours after doing this, before putting the louvers back on. You may then place the louvers back on the mounting brackets and screw them back on. And that is how you install Lambo window louvers on your Mustang. My last window louvers cost me $400. With these, I was able to get everything I needed for less than $200. The only difference is the others came with some of these extra things for installing the louvers, things that I was able to find myself, and still get everything I needed for under $200. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. For more information, visit my website, mustangaddict.com. Drive safe.